Hello. Has anyone heard from Commissioner Meyer? Okay. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and start. It is 1 o'clock and I'm going to call to order the Health and Human Services Committee of the Mecklenburg County Board of County Commissioners. As I ask my colleagues to introduce, before I ask my colleagues to introduce themselves, I want to say to our guests and to the audience that's viewing this particular meeting, thank you and welcome for being with us this afternoon. I'm going to start introductions of the commissioners first, then our staff, and I'll go to my immediate left and ask my colleague, Commissioner Leek, to introduce herself.
Good afternoon and welcome to all of you who are here this afternoon, especially our staff. We value who you are. I represent the most powerful district in this county, and that's District 2. And I'm honored to be elected by the people of District 2 in representing them. So thank you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Commissioner Leek. I'll go to give Commissioner Meyer a moment to catch your breath. Commissioner to my right.
Woo, it's a good microphone today. I am Mecklenburg County Commissioner Elaine Powell, representing District 1, which is all of North Mecklenburg. And happy Tuesday.
Thank you, Commissioner Meyer.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Laura Meyer and I represent District 5.
And again, my name is Arthur Griffin. I chair the committee and I'm representing the at-large, Mecklenburg County at large. I now go to the staff for staff introductions. I go to my immediate right.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Anthony Trotman, Acting County Manager, ESS Director, Consolidated Human Services Agency Director, and Deputy County Manager.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Kimberly Henderson, Director of the Department of Child, Family, and Adult Services.
I didn't hear the last part of it, please.
Director of the Department of Child, Family, and Adult Services.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Stacy Lowry, Director of Mecklenburg County Community Support Services.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yolanda Griffin, Director for Community Resources.
Good afternoon, everybody. Public Health Director, Reynard Washington.
Good afternoon, Taya Cruz, Assistant to Deputy County Manager.
Good afternoon, everyone. Robert Nesbitt, Chief of Staff for the Consolidated Human Services Agency.
And good afternoon, Leslie Johnson, Deputy County Manager.
I couldn't hear the last part.
Deputy County Manager.
Tanner.
Greg Tanner, Division Director for Services for Adults, Child, Family, and Adult Services.
I'm not sure. She'll be at the table. Other, I guess your presenters will introduce yourself once you make your presentations. Okay, any of our guests here?
Oh, Jared, it's Cindy, general public.
Okay.
Harry Stowers, Division Director for Community and Recreation Services within Park and Recreation.
Jeff Carlisle, Recreation Superintendent.
I didn't hear the last part, sir.
Mecklenburg County Park and Recreation.
I'm Abby Wyatt, the Livable Neck Coordinator.
Thank you all for your introductions. We have a robust agenda, and before we get to that agenda, I'd like to have the approval or motion to approve the minutes.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Pose the same sign. We have a robust agenda this afternoon from the Department of Child, Family, and Adult Services. I go back to February of this year. When I reached out to each of you, I asked those areas of interest, and we're just getting to the one that talks specifically about our seniors. This is an important population here in Mecklenburg County. From the 2010 census to the 2020 census, we've had a 64% increase in the population of households of 65 years of age and older. Although we'll be talking about from age 55 in some of these presentations, but it's very clear that this is an increasing population, a very important population, and you'll be getting a continuum of care as it relates to the services that Mecklenburg County offers to our senior population. What I would ask of my colleagues, because it's going to be various departments, park and recreation, health, various services and housing, if you would be kind enough to just take a note, take a pen and make a note so that we can get through that presentation and then come back to that specific area that you've taken a note on, if that's okay with my colleagues. Colleagues, is that okay? Okay,
Yes.
all right. All right, I will turn to I'm gonna hit all the titles because acting county manager, deputy county manager Trotman to introduce this piece, and then we will sit back, take notes, and have, I'm sure, robust questions once you finish the presentations. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Commissioner. On a quarterly basis, I sit down with Commissioner Griffin to talk about topics of interest. And as I know, he's reached out to you all to talk about topics of interest. And healthy aging is something that cuts across multiple departments, which is why we have Park and Rec, GIS, and our housing, I forget your title, but Ms. LaShonda Hart here, along with Greg Tanner, to provide a robust presentation of all the various activities we are doing with this population. The next quarter, we are going to focus on income maintenance programs. Specifically in October, we're going to focus on food and nutrition services, Commissioner Meyer. So I want to turn it over to Greg Tanner now to begin the presentation.
First of all, let me start by saying good afternoon to Chair Griffin and other members of this distinguished committee. Thank you for providing this opportunity for us to present to you. I also want to thank Acting County Manager Trotman for asking me and others to share this information and update. I want to thank my peers from other departments as well as the public for the opportunity to learn and hear more about what's going on with our seniors in Mecklenburg County. I would be remiss though if I did not also acknowledge my three colleagues to my right LaShonda Hart, who is the program manager in the county manager's office. LaShonda focuses on housing, which you will hear from her as part of the presentation this afternoon. Jason Tyson, he is the recreation superintendent with Park and Recs. And then last but definitely not least is Scott Black. Scott is our senior GIS analyst. And at the end of the presentation, you will be afforded the opportunity to hear from Jason as he walks us through a sort of live demonstration of how we map out where our programming services are placed within the county. I would also want to acknowledge my 159 colleagues that work within the Services of Adults Division. We could not do this work without so many of them making a difference in the lives of seniors and their family members. We primarily focus on 4 core areas, which consist of our senior citizens nutrition program, our transportation program, our community social work, and adult social work programs. I'm very pleased to share with you that during last fiscal year, we were able to provide more than 50,000 clients with one or more of these services. This year, we will continue that outreach and provide services with operating budget just over $28 million. So let's get the conversation started today. I want to share this perspectives of what Commissioner Griffin was just referencing, and acting county manager as well, Anthony Trotman. Mecklenburg County, as many of you know in this room, we have just over a million individuals that consider and call Mecklenburg County home. But if you look at the bracket of those 60 and older, that includes or makes up just about 18% of our total population, just under 200,000 individuals currently right now, or at least in 2021. And as you go across the timeline to 2024, the data from the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services estimates that the population growth between 2021 and 2041 for those 60 and older is going to skyrocket. Actually, it's going to become the fastest growing segment of all populations within our county, accounting for more than 350,000 individuals aged 60 and older, which leads me to say that we have work to be done. Secondly, it's important to note that Mecklenburg County, it was designated as an age-friendly community a few years ago. And I want to thank again, our county manager and members of this committee, and definitely members of the full board, for supporting that request to have Mecklenburg County join the AARP and the World Health Organization Age-Friendly Community. As many of our services and programs operate in alignment with these 8 domains that were identified by the World Health Organization back in 2002. The World Health Organization took a strong look and developed active aging policies frameworks to ensure that individuals could age in place. In 2007, the areas of urban life identified these 8 areas. And basically what this means is that for the most part, for most individuals, if they're able to engage on a regular basis between one of these 8 domains, their lifespan, not lifespan, but their dignity and respect as seniors would be held to within a considerable level of dignity and respect. So what do we mean by outdoor spaces? Outdoor spaces includes greenways and walking trails and public access to different buildings. Transportation obviously is going beyond vehicles. We talk about access to pedestrian safety and crosswalks, also bicycling as well. When we think in terms of housing, we want individuals to be able to age in place. So not only just affordable housing, but making sure that individuals can have their homes repaired in a cost-effective manner to ensure that they can continue to age in place and live in a safe environment. Social participation are opportunities to help reduce social isolation and loneliness among seniors as they age. And respect and social inclusion is ensuring that diversity and inclusion is included in all aspects of aging, including intergenerational opportunities for seniors to interact with younger individuals as well. And then civic participation. We know that there's a lot of knowledge from older adults and seniors. And how do we share that information with other generations as well in a volunteer opportunity? And then how do we also communicate with them to ensure that they're receiving information in a timely manner. So we look at effective ways to address that issue and opportunity. And last but definitely not least, we want to ensure that individuals' health are maintained at the highest level possible. And that's physical, mental, and emotional health. So a critical part of our age-friendly planning included engaging directly with seniors back in 2019 throughout it to understand the critical needs of seniors as they age in place. And we conducted a gap analysis survey to take the pulse of the community. And we took that data and we developed that age-friendly plan shortly thereafter. The survey consisted of surveying more than 1,300 seniors that lived here in Mecklenburg County in 2019. And out of that gap analysis, 43 recommendations were lifted up, and that's how we continue to build out some of our work that we do within our division. As a result of the community feedback, we developed a age-friendly plan, again, that I mentioned earlier, that the board did accept and approve to ensure that Mecklenburg County became part of the age-friendly network. But as many of you know, as years go by, individuals' needs may change. Individuals may move here that are 60 and older, and their interest needs may be different from what it was nearly a half decade ago or so. And so we did a new need assessments this year. And out of that need assessment of seniors, we found that housing actually ranked as one of the top priorities for seniors to ensure that they can age in place. 58% of the respondents agreed that their community encourages active aging by providing opportunities to enhance and quality of life for older adults. 43% indicated that they plan to live in their own residence for as long as possible, definitely within the next 15 years. 32% of respondents stated they were extremely likely to provide some type of unpaid caregiving for a loved one or a neighbor. And last, 21% of respondents ranked online access to information as their number one source to receive information. Which leads us to today's topics and overview of what we will share with you. We will focus primarily on 5 areas of the 8 domains, which includes health, centered around senior nutrition and caregiving, transportation, housing, and again, outdoor spaces and recreation. We know that adequate nutrition is critical to the health, physical ability, and quality of life for individuals. Our Congregate Nutrition and Home Delivered Meal program encourages nutritional well-being and help allow aging in place. There are currently 15 Congregate Nutrition sites in Mecklenburg County. This program is ran through our senior nutrition program, and it provides hot meals to those 60 and older that participate with our programs. Individuals can access this program through calling our Just One Call service line, and that number is 704-432-1111. And I want to make sure that public who may be listening was able to capture that number. Again, that number is 704-432-1111. And again, you could be 60 and older and a spouse, and most of our locations right now are not over capacity. So we're looking for new participants to join that program. Currently, right now, we're servicing about 1,800 seniors throughout Mecklenburg County in various locations. And I'm very, very pleased to share with this committee, as well as the full board, if we get an opportunity to, that in every district, there is at least one senior nutrition program, congregate nutrition program. So in District 1, there's the Northeast Regional in the Waymer Park and Recreation. In District 2 is Southview, Betty Ray, West Charlotte, Trinity United Church. District 3 is Rockwell AME Zion Church, DeRuyter, which is in Ebenezer Baptist Church, Sugar Creek Park and Rec, and Eastway Regional locations. District 4 is Strawn Apartments and Albemarle Park and Recreation Center. And District 5 is Tybola Senior Center and Parktown Apartments. Definitely last but not least is District 6, which is Pineville, and that location is at the Bell Johnson Community Center. And the reason I wanted to reference this is to ensure that this committee is aware and the public is aware that if seniors are looking for opportunities to get engaged with activities, program, and services at our congregate nutrition sites, we welcome those opportunities. This is not just a feeding program, and we try to stress that to all listeners who we have an opportunity to share this information with. They do all types of activities. They do board games, they take trips. We have key speakers to come in and provide different musical events for the seniors who get involved with the program. So it's very interactive, and we welcome the opportunity for others to join. I will say that the only location right now that has a substantial wait list is our Eastway Regional location. The good is that, thank you Park and Rec for allowing us to have a space in that location. And it outgrew, I think, all of our projections of what we thought the seniors would come out and get involved with. But that's a good problem to have, actually. So we're looking for ways to continue to address those on the wait list to ensure that everyone can participate. I also want to reference, not only through our senior congregate nutrition program, but through Park and Rec. And I don't want to speak too much for my colleague Jason here because he's going to take the podium shortly. But Park and Rec also offers activities for seniors in each of your districts. And Jason can expound on that a little bit more. Our home delivered meal program is one that's also we're very proud of. We're currently right now, we're serving about 1,100 individuals. We have moved up this year to where we will serve 1,200 through that outreach with additional funding from the county. So thank you, Acting County Manager Trotman and members of this board for allowing us that opportunity as well. The impact, 90% of the seniors surveyed responded that enrollment in this program, they're able to eat more meals and they're less hungry throughout the day. 80% respondents said that they reported believing their health have improved for being involved with the program. And 95% said that because of nutrition education and resources, they feel like they're making better food choices throughout the day and week. We also do this work in partnership and collaboration with Loaves and Fishes through their friendship trays. Definitely, it's one of the larger providers as well. They provide meals, home delivered meals, and throughout the county. Their target population is 18 and older. They do have a somewhat of a sliding fee scale. It's based anywhere from $5 down to being free, and most of their participants probably donate or pay about 87 cents per meal, but they will not turn away anyone who can't afford to donate. Currently, right now, they're servicing anywhere from 400 to 450 individuals on a daily basis, and in FY23, they served just over 133,000. I want to move down to our mobile food program, and that's a program that we launched a couple of years ago. And right now, we're serving about 12 locations, servicing about 12 locations through this program. I want to thank those individuals those organizations who we partner with to ensure that the seniors have access to fresh fruits and vegetables. The target population, again, are seniors who may have restrictions or challenges with transportation getting to and from a grocery food chain. Again, you can call our Just One Call number to get involved with the program. We're currently servicing about 550 seniors through this program, but with our new vehicle coming up, we will be able to service more than 1,100 seniors by the end of this fiscal year. I also want to acknowledge that this program is located at Anita Straw Senior Apartments, Chambers Point in Ashley, J.C. and Jenkins Church, Gabriel's 1 and 2 at Druid Hills, the Plaza Terrace, the Danley at Catawba, and the Marbury Apartments, and the Weeping Willow Church. We will start next month at Olivian, where we will be at Edwin Towers, McAlpine Terrace, and Parktown location as well. In November, we will also expand this program to Roof Above Seniors Housing in late November. Impact, it helps seniors with transportation barriers, and it provides alternatives for reliable nutrition support for those who are not participating in our senior nutrition program. This slide here, I want to show you, which Scott Black will go deeper into conversation about this. But if you look at the map, this is a snapshot of where our congregate nutrition sites are located, as well as our mobile food pantry. The yellow house type shape is our current nutrition sites. And as you see, we have those as far up as in Huntersville, North Mac, and as far down as Pineville. And there's several here in the Crescent as well as our mobile market program is scattered throughout. And again, we work with our staff over at GIS to ensure that we're in the right locations. So some of the challenges here, the lack of awareness about our meal program is a challenge, and we're working with our public information team and others who work with seniors to increase awareness about how to get in touch and involved with that service. The inability of individuals to travel to nutritional resources. We're looking to expand our mobile market program this year, as I just mentioned, to ensure that we're meeting the needs of others who may have ambulatory challenges or transportation challenges to ensure they have access to fresh fruits and vegetables. Lack of facilities who are willing to host us at one of the mobile market locations. It is very difficult because we have to have insurance waivers, and getting our external partners to agree to that, sometimes we find that challenging. And then obviously, as we expand this program, the ability to identify food suppliers that can continue to increase our ask of food vendors will be a challenge we have to address. I want to shift our area now to caregiving and health. The adult daycare programs provide opportunities for participants to be supervised in a secure setting that promotes well-being and give caregivers and family members a brief bit of respite. The facilities range in size anywhere from those can host 18 individuals up to 98 individuals or clients. Currently, right now, we're servicing about 195 clients in the 6 adult daycare centers that we currently have within Mecklenburg County. They are Gracious Living, which is in the Huntersville area, University Adult Daycare, Chorus Intergenerational Center, Loving Touch Adult Daycare Center and Day Health, Raised Place, and Blessed Assurance, which is down in the Matthews area, Mid-Here area. I am very pleased to also announce that this fall, that Gracious Living, although they're still going to be in the Huntersville area in northern Mac, they're going to be moving to the southern part of the county, south part of the county, to open up a facility there. It would be a nanny participant facility. And then in 2024, they will open up another one in Pineville off Park Road that will also house nanny individuals. So we're looking forward to work with them in that aspect as well. Clients benefit from a safe and supervised setting, and caregivers obviously receive the respite care that they need, because as I've said before in the past, when a caregiver goes down, the entire house tends to go down. Again, this is a snapshot of where those adult day centers are located. And again, the 2 in the dark gray are the future sites that will come this fall and next spring. So caregiving goes beyond adult daycare centers. Through our child, family, and adult services Project CARE, which means alternatives running on empty, we provide services in Mecklenburg County, 24 families, but this is a 9-county region work that one of our social workers are doing. So they actually are servicing 64 counties, but I want to focus more on what's going on here in Mecklenburg County. The client must have Alzheimer's or dementia to be eligible for this service. It is a one-time service where most families will receive, again, some respite care for their loved one. And right now, again, as I mentioned before, we have 24 families that receive 34 vouchers. And those vouchers are awarded in the amount of $500. That's used to offset the cost of buying various supplies. Our Family Caregiver Support Program is a sister program to Project CARE, and it provides care in the form of 65 hours without a voucher. You would go through an agency to identify an individual who provide the care for your loved one. Right now, we're servicing about 90 families in the county, and it's a very supportive and rewarding program for those who are in need of respite care for their loved ones again. Impact is individuals are able to remain in their home longer. Caregivers receive respite care, and access to education and resources, and social workers can assist those family members whose loved ones are aging out or their health are declining to the point where they may need long-term care. And the social workers are then able to help those loved ones identify an assisted living facility or a nursing home to ensure that loved ones can continue to be cared for. The last program that I'll share with you is our transportation program. We provide non-emergency transportation to eligible county residents. We operate our service Monday through Sunday. With the county operations, we operate Monday through Friday. We provide services 364 days a year. The only day that we're closed is Christmas Day. We have a direct line to reach our scheduling team to schedule those trips. That number is 704-336-4547. We do ask that trips be scheduled 3 days in advance to ensure that we can reach everyone service needs. We provided a total of 340,000 trips last fiscal year. Of those 340,000 trips, 176 were for individuals 60 and older. The other trips were either for individuals who may have some form of disability or physical challenges or behavior challenges, or family members who have a minor child who need to have behavior services in a medical setting. We serve a total of just over 4,200 clients through this service. And of those, again, more than 2,500 of those were 60 and older. Combined with our vendors, we traveled more than 2.6 million miles providing the service. Most of our clients are ambulatory, and we do offer bus passes that we work with the city of Charlotte with, although most individuals prefer our service because it's more of a door-to-door service. Some of the challenges is demand for trips exceed the capacity with our 8 vendors that we contract out with, but we are looking to expand that service vendor pool. The lack of awareness about the service is another one, especially in the northern part of the county, and we're working to increase presence there. And then our outdated equipment is another challenge. We have 2 systems, technology systems that we work with, but they don't always speak well to each other. So we're looking to enhance that service this year. The other thing that we do in closing on my part of this presentation is when the customers call, we do work to ensure that if they are Medicaid trips, that first of all, we're working with one of the 5 PHPs to ensure that those Medicaid customers are going through their PHP and their broker to schedule that trip instead of calling our service where it clogs up our system where we can provide services to others who are not in one of the PHPs. So to ensure that it's being billed correctly and to be sure that we're using our vehicles in the most efficient way, we do redirect them to go through their PHPs, and all others, then we do provide those services to them directly.
Good afternoon. Greg mentioned earlier a few programs that Park and Rec offers, and I'm going to dive into some highlights that we tackle on a regular basis and just give you some more numbers from a perspective of Park and Rec. And as you know, Park and Recreation, we're here to serve, and we are here to serve all the residents of the county, including seniors. So one of the things that we focus on is making sure that we have a wide variety of programs that are offered to all the seniors throughout the county. We actually have 17 different program categories that we offer programs in throughout any given year. Some of the highlights for these categories for the seniors include health and wellness programs, arts and crafts programs, a variety of social programs, which a lot of those are about different card games and board games and just getting together and being social with your friends and your residents within the county. Camps, you may think that we are not talking about the seniors when we talk about camps, but we offered our first active adult summer camp this year at Eastway Regional Rec Center. It was very successful. On top of the 7,000 kids we served in summer camp, the adults that were in this camp loved it. They were able to travel to different parks throughout the county, see different aspects of Charlotte, and learn about the park and recreation system and really meet some new people and make new friends. Other things that are very popular within the seniors are trips and special events. Some of the special events that we have throughout the county include a lot of holiday themed programs. There's always people coming together at different rec centers around Thanksgiving and different holidays. We do a big luau bash at different sites. We have a volunteer program that comes together to do a big senior prom at several sites, which is very popular. So That's just a really tidbit of some of the programs, but then I'm going to dive into some of the highlights too of other partnerships that we offer, including our partnership with UNC Charlotte. So this is offered at 8 different locations. What we do is we bring in grad students and they actually do a health assessment, and which includes medical history, a lifestyle questionnaire, as well as fitness testing, to really bring in the service to provide more health and wellness opportunities for the seniors, as well as give them an opportunity to learn more about how they can improve their health. So this is done at 8 different locations. Last fiscal year, we did a little over 540 wellness exams. On top of those exams, we offer fitness classes that the GAs are teaching in all these locations. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I mentioned we have a lot of programs, and in FY23, we actually offered a little over 2,300 programs that were specifically targeted for seniors. So when we offer a program, there's different age groups that are the main target. And just for seniors alone, there was over 2,300 programs, which equated to, in our registration software, over 124,000 participants. This is spread through all of our facilities. So we have over 25 facilities throughout the county that are offering these programs. But we can successfully say that we had registrations of over 124,000 seniors, which is excellent. We hope to grow that number for the next fiscal year. One of the programs that's very successful that Greg mentioned earlier is our nutrition program. The Albemarle Road Recreation Center started in November, and we actually started as a 2-day site. It's become so popular, we added our 5 days a week site, and we are now offering not just the senior nutrition side of it, but fitness classes that average about 275 people per week that are coming to that location alone, in addition to all the other locations that are having that program. And like Greg mentioned, it's more than just the meals. We are offering fitness classes and other programs through all the people that are coming to that program. So it's very successful and a great partnership that we have with his division. Another thing I wanted to mention that is growing really quickly is our opportunities that we work very closely with different health insurance providers. We currently have partnerships with 3 different providers, which is Healthy Contributions, Tivity Health, and American Specialty Health. What that means to our residents is if they have one of these 3 health insurance providers, they can come to our facilities either at a discounted rate or a 0 cost to them based on their health insurance. So we will actually take that and we will still bill the insurance company and receive revenue from that, but the public does not have to pay for coming to our facilities or classes based on that providence of the health insurance. And then finally, I wanted to mention Senior Games. Senior Games is very popular. It takes place every year starting in April. There are over 30 events that take place. Everything from bocce ball to swimming to basketball, cheerleading, pickleball, as well as different arts and visual activities within that. And then we use a variety of facilities throughout the county, both Mecklenburg County owned property, as well as outside partnerships that we have, including the Charlotte Motor Speedway, which is used for our cycling program.
Good afternoon, Health and Human Service Committee and Mecklenburg County staff. I am LaShonda Hart, the Affordable Housing Program Manager in the County Manager's Office. So I will share what the county is doing to impact seniors relative to affordable housing initiatives. Please note that the numbers on this chart are census data from the Public Use Microdata Sample 2021. This chart depicts total households in Mecklenburg County, which includes the city of Charlotte. Total households, not total individuals. This chart also reflects seniors who have a mortgage, seniors that have paid their mortgages off, and seniors that are actually renting. This table has been divided into households that are 55 to 64 and households 65 and over. The last column is seniors as percentage of total households. So if you just take a look at the first line, and we have the seniors who actually own their homes, but they do have a mortgage, and it's the total population is 192,871. But when we break that up into households of 55 to 64, we have 38,770. And then the households 65 and over, 29,295. And then the total of those numbers come to 68,065. And then the seniors as percentage of the total households is 35%. And then it goes on to talk more in detail or provide numbers of those who own their house, own their home with no mortgage, the total of those who own their homes, and then the rent as well. And then it's also broken up into the numbers. So while many seniors own their homes, the large number of households, which is the 192,871, may be affected by the ever-increasing property value taxes. Senior renters will likely experience a steady yearly increase in their rental rates, increasing the need for more affordable housing options for seniors. One moment, please. Okay, here we are. All right, so the Senior Affordable Housing Development Projects funding consists of 1.8 million in Mecklenburg County funding investment, 34 million in ARPA funding investment, and there is a total of 416 affordable units. This is reflective of rental subsidy and capital investments to developers to ensure units are affordable at mixed AMIs. All developments are for occupancy for those that are 55 and up. Okay. So let's talk about critical home repair. It consists of 2.5 million in Mecklenburg County funding investment, provides repair to address potential health and safety concerns. Repairs extend and preserve the interior and exterior functionality of the home. It also allows income qualified homeowners to age in place. Our county-funded partners are Habitat for Humanity of the Charlotte region, Greater Matthews Habitat for Humanity, Rebuilding Together, and For the Struggle Elder Response Initiative. What we know is that there is a great need for critical home repair. The need is greater than the number of agencies that are actually doing the work. And there are backlogs. There are wait lists for critical home repairs to be done. Under the A Home for All implementation plan, the prevention pillar, the challenges of critical home repair will be addressed by way of an implementation team that includes county and city staff, critical home repair agencies, and individuals with lived experience. A consultant firm will be selected to look at our overall processes and provide technical assistance. The main objective is to move from a good to a great critical home repair ecosystem. Redevelopment and revitalization for Smithfield and Pottstown. It consists of 2.5 million in Mecklenburg County funding investment, 3 million in ARPA funding investment. The use of ARPA funds in the Smithfield community allows for land purchase to build affordable housing and critical home repairs. The use of Mecklenburg County funds were used to purchase land and also hire a consultant to gain a consensus of what that community would like to do with the land that was recently purchased. Objectives are legacy preservation, critical home repair to age in place, and to slow down gentrification by land purchases to ensure market rate developers do not take over. And now we'll have our GIS technology demonstration. Scott Black.
Thank you. I'm Scott Black with Mecklenburg County GIS. And this application is the food desert application that was developed in conjunction with DSS to assist with understanding. Sorry. This application was developed with DSS to assist in understanding where we have food deserts in Mecklenburg County and where assistance is needed and where services should need to be provided for seniors. What we're looking at right here on the map are the food deserts that have been constructed based on census data, homebound clients, congregate clients, Medicaid FNS clients, as well as population aspects and income aspects for Mecklenburg County. And if we zoom in and look at some of these areas, so I'll just pick on one in particular. This area here receives a score, and this score is based on a food insecurity score. And what this food insecurity means is that within this area, we don't have ample food resources. In other words, grocery stores or healthy food stores, or also the customers in this area aren't within a 5-minute walk of a bus stop. And the reason we chose 5-minute walk is because we're targeting seniors 60 and over. So we wanted to make that as short as possible. And what we look at is the food desert score. And then we look at the number of people within this block group that do not have access to a grocery store or healthy food store, the number who do have access. And then we look at the populations within this area to see how many people we have that are of certain age groups, targeting those under 19 and over 60, because those are considered the at-risk age groups. And then we look at household income, both median and per capita, and that helps DSS to know if that's a good area to target. And then we look at vehicle access. So, and that's important because if those individuals don't have access to a vehicle, then they are relying upon those services provided by Mecklenburg County or by CATS to be able to get to a food or healthy or grocery store resource. And with that information, DSS assists DSS in determining where they either need to look to add additional resources like mobile food pantries or work with additional partners in Mecklenburg County to get seniors access to fresh fruit and vegetables. Some of the data within this application, we do have seniors, which we pull from our voting registration. So this is all HIPAA related, it's all locked down. So we can see where all the seniors are living. And I only clicked on one age group here, which is 65 to 74. All of these green dots that just popped up on the map are a senior individual within that age group of 65 to 74. And I had to break all these out by individual groups because there's just too many numbers to show them all at one time. We do show the senior nutrition program sites, which are the program sites that was shown on the earlier screen. We do show the senior mobile markets. We show the grocery stores and healthy food stores. And believe it or not, Mecklenburg County as a whole only has just over 200 plus maybe 215 grocery stores and healthy food stores for a county of this size. And then we show farmers markets, mobile food pantries themselves, which are locations usually at churches or other facilities where people can go and get fruit and vegetables. We show the loaves and fishes, which are some of the partners that Mecklenburg County partners with, Second Harvest Food Bank, and the mobile markets, the Bulb mobile markets, which is another, I guess, a private industry more or less, and they help get food to seniors and people who need food resources as well. Additional information in here that we have are like places of worship. We also have our block groups, which are updated annually. We also have all of our food desert information, and that's about it. One thing that this does help with for DSS is They can search on an address, so they can immediately put in an address and then they can zoom to that location, and then they can do buffers around that location to see who lives in that area and what food deserts are in the area, and then they can help better target. As far as the food deserts go, there are food deserts that are of a higher need than other areas, and we look at this based on the population of 60 and over and the median household income. So it helps DSS to target certain areas in the county, because not that there's not a need in all parts of the county, but you want to look at the areas that have greatest need, because you don't have, an infinite amount of dollars to spend on. So you want to target these locations. And so these food deserts help DSS to understand the areas of greatest need without focusing on areas where maybe the income is very high and the population for seniors is very low, or the population is high and seniors are high, or vice versa, where you have low population and low seniors. So these food deserts are geared to help them pick the best target areas across the county. Thank you.
So thank you, Scott, and others. This is the end of our presentation, Chair Griffin. So we'll open up to questions from the committee.
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you, Mr. Tanner, the super team that you brought, of course, this afternoon. Subject matter experts. This is just phenomenal information that's being reported of the citizens and learn presentation. I have questions. My colleagues have a lot of questions. A 2:30 hard stop for us from the committee. But I'm sure that the subject matter experts make themselves available through the appropriate staff to answer any follow-up questions we don't get to today. So with that said, I'm going to colleagues, I'm going to Dr. Leak, and then Commissioner Meyer and Commissioner Powell.
Thank you. Let me first say thank you to this body of soldiers, I call them, that work diligently in the front lines of our communities that's in the highest need. And I'm always saying to people, wraparound services. Children are recipient of basically all that you talked about today. And our seniors are growing in number, and they're the most magnificent people in the world because of their experiences. Thank you. Because of their experiences. And people, I never thought I'd live to see young people degrade people who have lived a long time. Right here in Charlotte, Mecklenburg, right here on the County Commissioners Board. I've seen it, felt it. I'm a senior, been a senior. Until I die, I'll be a senior. And I don't apologize for it, but I do demand respect. All seniors want to do is to feel like they are part of what's going on and being a part and accepted in this community. They've made this community what it is. Some of you just got here. So when you talk about park and rec and services for our seniors, when you sit in on contractors, all they talk about is what's good for young people in parks. Basketball, football, tennis, those activities may not be suited for seniors. So we need to look at a better way for park and rec to address the needs of our seniors. Many of them don't have a lot of sitting areas in the park. Swimming is a good idea, but all areas do not have pools. So we need to make sure when we send county commissioners to sit in on contractors who's going to do park and rec work for the county to look beyond young people and what their needs are. I plead with that. My last concern, because I have so much, And we've worked very hard with this department. So I commend each of you for what you've done. And we didn't just start today because Mr. Griffin is here. We have information of the newspaper. I've asked for it. And I'm not talking about me, son. I'm talking about what this county has done. The county has been on target working with and for our people. And if you ever need our seniors needing support and help, when I call him Mr. Trotman, he's always ready. When I talked about and begged about repairing homes for seniors, when I talked about the desert, they ignored it. Food desert, many did, not this board. I'm not talking about this board, because this board helped to generate the food desert avenue for this county. And I want to thank you for it. Thank you for it. So I just need to say that so that the general public will not perceive that because new people are here, that we're just beginning to serve people. We would always have a government day for seniors. They came, had a wonderful experience, and working with Mrs. Hart, who has worked diligent with the seniors in helping to expand repairing housing, steps, windows, air conditioning. These are items, but I get upset when I look at Habitat for Humanity, and I don't apologize for it. 25 pages to fill out. Seniors don't have time to fill out all that work paperwork. If so, then they need to come down here so somebody can help them fill out the paperwork. That's a major issue with Habitat for Humanity. When I heard we were giving them $4 million, I was awfully upset because I was hoping that the school system is trying to train young people to be carpenters, to be brick mason work, could come in and share with the community, and especially our seniors, those skills that would not cost much, but we have not used that as an avenue. And we have not used the horticulture department of the school system. So, excuse me. So these are the concerns that I have and have worked with seniors, didn't just start. When I taught Sunday school, I taught the senior Sunday school. That's where the wisdom is. That's where the knowledge is. That's where the work has begun. So I can never say thank you enough for what you do. And I'll stop at this point because I do have more questions. And information is needed. I'm working right now to get a process by which we can provide high school courses for our seniors who have not graduated from high school. We're working on that right now so that they can feel accepted and a part of the community and have some education. So we're working on that. Dean and I are working on it right now. So thank you, Mr. Tanner. I'd hug your neck if I could, but you have a wife and I don't want to make her jealous.
Thank you.
But
Commissioner.
thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Lee. Commissioner
thank you.
Meyer.
And I'm sorry.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for the presentation. I think that's so much information that I didn't know. Especially, I think this application is incredible for research and for us to know where to focus. So I think this is amazing. Thank you. I have a question about transportation. For individuals who need transportation for any reason, is the transportation available to them, the non-emergency
So we
seniors?
So we break it up into two categories. First of all, most of our transportation is provided here within the county, excuse me. And then we do our medical trips.
Okay.
All trips outside of medical trips, we provide those trips they call quality of life trips. You would call the same telephone number. Those quality of life trips locations include going to a local grocery chain closest to where that individual live, a local pharmacy of his or her choice, a beauty shop or barber shop, because we think that's a part of human dignity to be groomed properly, faith locations as well, and then coming down to here to the government complex in case they need to take care of business deal with the city or the county.
Thank you. The reason I ask is, for example, I have a neighborhood whose cat stopped service into the neighborhood because so many cars were parked on the road and they couldn't get through. And so seniors can't get to the bus stop. If it was a grocery or one of the things you listed, they could call, but not transportation to say work.
So no, so not to work. And we also, I failed to mention this, we also provide trips to the local farmers markets as well. So we contract out with our vendors in the case that you're mentioning, Commissioner. And one of our vendors will probably in one of their local sedans, vehicles would come and provide that service for that individual to and from home. It's a door-to-door service, almost like an Uber or Lyft service.
Okay, okay. I will talk to you about that.
Sure.
Thank you. I really appreciate this presentation. Thank you.
Commissioner Powell?
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I'm going to start backward. First, thank you for everything. And I'm going to start with Scott Black. First of all, congratulations on your Gold Star Employee Award. It's no surprise. And I need to know, can we access all these layers by ourselves, or do we need a password to get in?
So this application has a lot of HIPAA information in it. And so it is password protected.
Okay.
Without the password, you could still see all the food deserts and a lot of the information. You just wouldn't get the HIPAA side of information, which are congregate clients, those homebound clients, and the Medicaid FNS clients, or the voter information.
Is the layer list a universal list, or is that something that that you're directed on?
The layer list?
Yeah, is that universal, or do you guys say, well, we want to see this?
So that layer list is basically based on what DSS wanted to see inside the application. So that basically came from them, and then I made sure all the data was put into the application. So it's basically, it's for this application alone. It's not a layer list that's used across all applications.
Okay, thank you, because it's such important information that, shows us how critical the needs are throughout the county. So I just wondered if that was universal throughout urban regions.
It is not. No, it's only for this application alone.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And then to Ms. Jason Tryon. On the enhanced fitness slide, you were talking about if people had 3 different types of insurance that they could get, that would be part of their enhanced fitness. Can people take that if they don't have insurance?
There's additional offerings that we're looking at right now that are not included in that. There's different agencies, there are different health insurance providers that are reaching out to us to add another layer of services. So there's residents that are also asking, hey, I have this type of insurance, can you add this to it? And we're having discussions right now of adding more services.
Okay, that helps. But thank you. Thank you for your focus on health and wellness and decreasing social isolation. When the master's students didn't show up at Mallard Creek, I got a record number of phone calls. So they love all these classes. And
Yes.
thank you for all that you do. And then Greg Tanner, on slide 18, you were talking about the vouchers, how they're worth $500. And what is that for?
So that's for Project Care. And Project Care is for the caregiver to have respite, opportunities for respite. And the vouchers are used to help purchase supplies for the client.
And like what kind of, give an example.
Incontinence supplies. a lot of
Okay.
times.
Oh, I got it. I didn't understand that at first. How do people know how to apply for that? Because it seemed like such a low number.
They can call our just one call line, again, our information referral line, and that line is manned by staff through DSS. And so they would then ask for the Project Care service, and they would get in touch with the program coordinator who will work with them on getting them enrolled into the program. There is a limited number of slots though, because this is a one-person operation, and the employee who provides the service in Mecklenburg County, she also has to provide the service for the other 8 counties, with the 9 counties within the Central Line region.
I could see that, and it's still such a low number based on how many people are in need of this. So I just wondered.
And so that budget is about $100,000, and that money comes from the state, and that's our allocation. So we have to balance our service based on the budget.
I understand. And thank you for spreading the word in Cornelius, or you said North Mecklenburg, on access to transportation.
Yes.
because I get so many calls from Cornelius. And there is a need for them to have more awareness around that.
Yes.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And that's all for now. Thank you.
We'll
Thank
have
you.
another round. We have more time before the whistle blows.
Thank you.
For the end of our committee meeting. Again, Dr. Leak certainly expressed a lot of the points I wanted to make. I mean, this is the depth and breadth of what we do is substantial and certainly is much appreciated. Just a couple of questions as relates to how do you put a framework around when you said you need to have more information about these services presented to or shared with the public? Is there some type of goal based on those numbers that you had on your beginning slides of thousands of people at 55 to 64 and 64 on up? If people took advantage of this, we go from 1,800 to 18,000, or I'm just trying to get a sense as to how do you determine here's our goal. Here's the gold standard. We're at gold standard with 1,800. Is there a gap in that?
No, the 1,800 in my reference was I think that was the home delivered meals. So that was actually 1,100. We're currently serving 1,100 and our capacity to serve in that program is 1,200.
Okay. So what I'm trying to get at is that, do we think we're certainly serving the need, the people who call 411, that call that.
Just one call number? Yes.
Yeah. But are there others? When you started off your first couple of slides, I didn't write it down. You gave percentages of gap analysis.
Yeah. So if I'm following your question, Commissioner, one of the things that we're doing is working with our external partners again, those who are in the aging network. It could be Central Lana, it could be other organizations, agencies, faith-based communities as well. You know, as much as we think we're getting the word out, I can go to any block within the city or county, and there's individuals who just don't know these services exist. And, you know, in order for us to increase our presence and awareness at the local level, we are trying to educate those external partners about the services that we offer. We do that electronically. We do it in community fairs, health fairs. We do it on our website, our age-friendly website. We put out a quarterly newsletter as well, offering programming services that the community may or may not know about and encouraging them to get involved. An example of that is one that's going on right now with the local library. The Ella Garrett Library next month is going to be launching a program with AARP where they're helping individuals to get involved with digital technology. And based on those who get registered, they're hoping to expand that to other local branches, and it's targeting seniors.
One of the things, I love GIS, and I certainly understand the protected data that's in there because of the Privacy Act of 1974 and also HIPAA. But that's a great tool. But as you indicated, you can also pull up any EBT store that uses food stamps around those senior locations, because I'm assuming that all building licenses are also part of the database. Business license, for example, I had a convenience store somewhere close by a community that had a number of senior citizens. You could identify that convenience store that's in that senior environment, right?
So yes, technically we could, but in this application, the only thing that we're not using every convenience store, because what DSS's focus was for this application is they want seniors to have access to fresh fruit and vegetables. And so not every convenience store.
I was thinking that in terms of information. We had a marketing campaign. How do I get information to residents? That's a source in addition to your churches and your traditional places. There are some non-traditional businesses in those communities that you can try to have a communication plan put in place. But
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely possible that we could do some reverse mailing from, using the actual healthy and grocery store locations and reverse mail out to seniors that this facility does offer fresh fruit and vegetables. So yes, that is a possibility.
Yeah, okay, I've got plenty more, but I'm gonna take my own medicine and subsequent to this meeting, try to reach out to you guys.
And
Commissioner Lee.
Chair Griffin, just for your reference in this committee here, in 2022, our Just One call line, we handled more than 40,000 incoming calls. In 2023, we handled just over 38,000 incoming calls. And I hear what you're saying about forward facing to the community instead of calls coming into us, and I appreciate that perspective. But again, we are taking into consideration, how do we increase our presence and services so that more individuals would know we exist and know how to get in touch with us?
As the county has already agreed to put these community resource centers out there, I think we're going to get a lot more business in the future, is what I'm trying to say. And how are we preparing for a lot more business? So Commissioner Lee, you got the floor.
Thank you. I just want to make a recommendation as to celebrating Food Desert Day or Food Desert Week. And that would be throughout the county. And that information would be disseminated throughout the county. And the next month, we will make that our Housing Repair Month for senior citizens. When we start putting names and handles to these issues, they become real to many people within the confines of the community. When I started talking about consent items, many of the board members resented the fact, but that's giving people information. Consent items tell you a lot. And I deliver those 20, I think I pick up 25 each meeting and give them to the community so that the people will see if there are jobs available, contracts available. We have to play a major role as people in this community. We say we want to be elected by the people, then we have to work for the people. And that's my job, is to work for the people. So if we would advertise from a star month each month, have a certain area of interest that would penetrate the community for senior citizens, it would certainly help a lot if you would consider that. What do you think of that, Mr. Chairman?
I think anything we can do to improve access and opportunity is something we ought to be doing.
Thank
Commissioner Lee.
you. Thank you. At one point, we were meeting in the communities, but then when the virus came, we had to stop that. So this body has been working. That's why I commend each of you individually and collectively for looking out for our people who cannot look out for themselves. It's sad to get a call at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I have a 95-year-old lady that calls me, and her rent went up on the facility that she's living in. And she's asking for them to justify why they went up on her rent. 50% her rent went up. So someone needs to look at that. So many of us get calls, I'm sure we do. Last Saturday, I spent the whole afternoon at the House of Prayer with the seniors. So I make myself available for my people, and I'm sure all of you do. I'm not saying that you don't, please don't say that. But I live and breathe what I ask people to let me do, because I love it. I'm a single woman, have been since 1981. And I know the struggle that's out there for us as it relates to being single and dependent on people to be supportive of you in whatever your endeavors might be as women. And I say that openly, and men. So I don't apologize for my overemphasizing the support of senior citizens. You look at the voting record, we are the ones who vote. So I just need to say that.
Thank you, Commissioner Lee. Commissioner Meyer, and then Commissioner Powell.
I have no questions, no more questions.
Commissioner Powell.
So, Ms. Hart, On slide 26, can you just, for more clarity, explain the earn free and clear 69%?
What is she?
Are you looking at the table?
The housing table.
Okay, so you're talking about the seniors as percent of total households where you see the 69% number?
Yeah, it kind
All right,
of just.
so- Okay, so if we take this and start where tenure is, these are all households that actually own their homes free and clear. So there is no mortgage, the house is paid in full. And the total household, again, this is the county number that includes the city, and these are households, not individuals, is 67,322. Then what we did for the purpose of this presentation, because we were talking about seniors, is for households 55 to 64, there's a total of 15,761 households. Then there is a total of 30,992 households that are 65 and over. Then that total number, those two numbers combined come up to 46,753. So if you take the way that you get the 44% is if you take the two numbers, so the 260,193, that number is a result of adding up the seniors who actually own their homes that have a mortgage and the seniors that own their homes that do not have a mortgage. If you take that and total it, you come up roughly to over 260,000. And then if you take the total number of senior households and you add up the 68,065 and the 46,753, that gives you the 44% number. You following me?
Mhm. And so thinking about the change in population in the next 20 years, when you see this slide, what do you think?
So as I had stated before, because of the value of taxes that go up, that impacts those that are homeowners, because you still have to pay your taxes even when your home is paid off. And when we look at those that rent, I mean, when taxes go up, that also impact those that rent because the taxes go up on the actual unit. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we always have to be mindful that affordable housing is needed and the housing stock is low. So we really focus on preservation and things like critical home repair. And most recently, we'll be doing a soft pilot with the city of Charlotte for a RFP when it comes to affordable housing developers. And they're wanting to have units. We can actually have set aside units that are available at mixed AMIs, but we solely try to focus on 30% AMIs and have a mixture of the units as well as the bedroom. So we just have to be mindful in our conversations, preservation, affordable housing, setting aside units, because everyone does not have vouchers. So when you have affordable housing developers that build and you can come in at a 30% AMI rate and not have a voucher, that's a benefit there. And so with our NOAA properties, that's something that individuals and families are able to do even if they don't have a voucher. Did I answer your question, Commissioner?
Yes, but when we're thinking about the increase in seniors and, the concern about ability to pay for where you live, just seems like it's a mountain today. It's a mountain that we're trying to deal with right now. And the future it's just rough.
It is, it's very rough. It's frustrating. It's a passion that I have. One of the things that I've learned over time is that even when you do build affordable housing, there is a slight increase that happens year over year. When it comes to Social Security, when it comes to disability, the increases are not aligned. And so I do receive phone calls of seniors that are trying to understand how did they come in at this particular rate and now they're at a higher rate and they're not in a position where they can afford it. And then you have a lot of landlords that are not being sensitive to what the issue is. So it's a huge problem. It's a huge concern, but we're making leeway in small steps, but it's definitely an issue. It is.
Thank you.
All right, I will, okay, just any last party, but hold on.
Talking about housing. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
I'm sorry. That's okay.
What I'll just remind everyone is all this stuff is connected. and the commissioners had a presentation back in February. So if you just go back into your think cap, Dr. Laura Ulrich made a presentation in this room about the economy and the impact and the growth, and that seniors were coming along here in Mecklenburg County. And so it is going to be a critical issue if we just go back and look at the data and then respond to that data that has been presented to us in different forums. But if you don't remember, just go back to February 28, 2023 and look at that presentation. And as she's talking about the economy, she raises the issue of folk aging out and getting older. And so at some point, the county, because of human services and our responsibilities, are going to have to be cognizant of that. And so that we can be ready as that population starts to grow. We're on top of it now. It looks good, feels good, but continuous improvement has got to be a part of that. I'm sorry, Dr. Lee, you get the last word, Commissioner Lee, before I go to Mr. Trotman, acting county manager.
I
Trotman.
think I'm hogging this meeting, but this is an interest that I have, and I live it every day and see it as I drive through my district. Housing has always been a problem, and the growth in the city of Charlotte needs to be a moratorium to stop the growth until we can bring the infrastructure up to place. We've got to do it, and the city refuses to do it. I look at the money we lost over on the east side of town because of the city council. And I speak to it because we did not have anything over there and still don't have anything. I'm waiting 45 more days. They are losing money as a city with taxing, and we're losing money as taxation. Am I right? Y'all are mighty quiet, and I'm not in church.
This is Commissioner's time, Commissioner Lee.
Am I right?
You're right, Commissioner Lee.
Thank you. But I'm saying it because it's a fact and it's the truth that the east side of Charlotte is in trouble. And when one section is in trouble, we all are in trouble, and people don't want to talk about it. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner
Love you
Lee.
much.
Commissioner Powell, all
Just
righty.
One last question.
Don't want y'all to get too used to having this extra time now, but go ahead.
I know, I'm watching the clock. So one last question. You were talking about the health and wellness of seniors and all the things that we do at the recreation centers and in our parks. And I haven't really heard about any kind of therapeutic programs for seniors that are somewhat disabled. Would you like to speak to that?
Oh. No churches that have.
I think one thing that's really exciting that you'll hear about soon, if you haven't heard yet, we're actually working on a therapeutic recreation master plan. So that'll give us a long-term plan. And we just wrapped up earlier this week, the community input aspect of that. And I know they engaged with over 147 people, I believe, to get input on that'll go into this plan. So I think there'll be a lot more coming that'll be helpful for us to plan for the future when it comes to therapeutic programming.
Thank you, because that would include everyone,
Yep,
people that
yeah.
have surgery, veterans, diabetics, and it's nice to have that public access.
Yes.
Thank you.
So every time y'all say something, I want to say something. There's also Medicaid reimbursement. So there's a lot of dots out there, and I'm sure you subject matter experts will connect those dots.
And we haven't even talked about
in order
disability.
to, improve the quality of life for the residents here in Mecklenburg County. Thank you again for your phenomenal presentation. I'll ask my colleagues again to reach out to the subject matter experts in particular areas to get additional questions you may have answered. At this point, just to make sure I've touched all bases, I'll reach over to our acting county manager, Mr. Trotman, to see if there are any parting comments. You said earlier, as we've been talking about income maintenance as a part of the Board of Social Services function, that we're going to start with that discussion, and food stamps, food nutrition services will be the lead off. But any additional remarks, Mr. Trotman?
Yes, sir. And I called out Commissioner Meyer's name because I know that is particular importance to her that topic be brought to the board, as well as several other commissioners that have reached out. So we'll definitely start with that topic at the next
What's that topic now?
food nutrition services.
Yes.
But overall, Commissioner Griffin wanted us to present all income maintenance programs. And that includes Medicaid as well as the WIC program. And so for the next couple of months, we'll be presenting on those three topics. But specifically, the next topic would be the food nutrition program because of the intention that it has received over the last couple of months. So in the interim of that presentation, if the board has any questions, we definitely are prepared to answer any questions that you have on that program. Also, I want to thank all of the presenters that worked hard to put this presentation together. We definitely want to always be responsive to the board in all the questions that you have. In the packet, there is an appendix because, as Greg mentioned, several locations to include park and rec locations and other sites. We definitely want to always leave you with telephone numbers and locations for you to share with your constituents. Also want to thank Dr. Johnson. She doesn't normally attend our HHS committee meetings, but because Park and Rec and the GIS programs are under her umbrella, I'm thankful that she came. There's a couple of other programs that were not a part of the presentation today that we do support seniors. The Homes program doesn't just focus on seniors, but it is of particular importance for the board that it does support seniors. And you'll receive a presentation on that at the next public policy meeting, as well as we'll be sending an update on the Homes program today with where we are, as well as the Village Heartbeat program within public health, not just for seniors, but the majority of the participants are seniors within those churches. And we'll be bringing a presentation at some point to the board on that as we're looking to expand. So that's all I have, Commissioner Griffin and board. I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you very much. At this point, I take a motion for adjournment.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You go home.
The newspaper, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Anthony.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.